Okay, this is Baron. Sorry, I just did Rebel. I just wrapped him for you and did a very nice video, and I realized my camera wasn't on. So this is Baron, and he was pretty much wrapped the same as Rebel. So I have 5 wraps in him. And first, when I take the wraps out, there's 2 ways I wrap. It depends on how much time I have. I'll either take one out, comb through it, and then I'll put the wrap back in and do the next one. So that's when probably I'm in a hurry and I just want to make sure that there's no tangles, that there's no problems going on with the coat. If I do have a little bit of matting, or where I feel the hairs are connecting underneath, like there's some tangles, I kind of just will pull it apart very gently. So this guy, it wasn't too bad, but you'll still see I'm getting some hair out. But anyway, so I'm going to take him all the way out of his wraps. I haven't done that for a while, actually. I've been just doing it by piece. So I'll save the wraps to reuse them if, in fact, they're clean. So here he is, and I think what we were talking about earlier was about where to start pulling the coat forward to make the frontal. So essentially, when I'm brushing them out, I will take it all the way from kind of the point in their back where it starts to the rear sweep. That doesn't mean that's the way it's going to stay, but you know, I want to get as much forward as I can. And then you sort of bring it down to the sides. So with this guy, you bring it down to the sides. You make sure there's nothing hung up underneath them. And he's pretty good. There's a little bit of separating here where you can see I've probably left the wrap in too long, and his coat is kind of automatically separating there, which you don't want because that'll feel like gaps to a judge. So that's that. And then, but as far as the frontal goes, now you can see it's starting to naturally part again when I'm brushing it down on the sides. But I kind of brush them forward and out. So forward and then I pull out, because I do want to get as much frontal there. But I'd say the frontal, I pull it from the shoulder blades forward. Because I'm going for a full look. So you want a round look. So that's how I do it. And it may or may not stay where you want it to stay, but there's that guy. This is Stellar Red Baron. And then to wrap him up, you know, again, you kind of take the part. I try to not always part on the same spot. And then what you want to do is I like to kind of pull this front hair back because I've had them chew. And then take it from about where you get a good amount. Make sure you're not picking up any of the Sylvesters, I guess. So I try to leave the Sylvesters out so it doesn't pull their head. Do it like this. It's fairly clean wrap, I'll just reuse it. Fold it over, and then I fold it up 3 times. I like to use a credit card. I use 1/4 of one, and I use it, all I do is I just put it there so that it keeps the wrap from crushing out on itself. And I use these hair ribbons, these hair bands. They're just the small thin ones. Then when I get back here, I don't know, so this is more of a feel. Like, really, I think this is probably too far to pull this coat forward, but he's pretty good, so I'm going to do it so I don't put too many wraps in with him. And I picked it up from a different spot than it was before. I went a little further back and I went a little further forward. So I think you just have to have a feel for it. And if he doesn't like it, I'll turn around and take it all out immediately. I won't leave it in. When I put him back in his cage, he's acting like something's bothering him. Wrap it up 3 times. Credit card. Band. I go to the other side, and again you can kind of see where I've had some parts, so I'm going to try to get a little bit different spot. Again, don't want to pick up the skirting. I don't know what I did with my credit cards, so this one won't have one. And here is the last wrap. He feels a little wet under his hair, but I'm going to try to wrap it up a little higher, so okay, and that's it. There he is. And that is Baron. Clean his eyes out. And he's done.